everyone, welcome to GDC Classes English. So today in this video we are going to discuss the MCQs from the micromeritics section. Okay, so previous videos you have watched, we are running this series where we are talking about all the important concepts relevant to all the pharmacist exam, GPAT exam, be it NIPER, DI, every exam possible. So this is our physical pharmacy topic video, which is the micromeritics, and in this we are going to cover all the MCQs. So here we have first question already on the display, which says density can be measured by which of the following? Oxalate extraction, Karl-Fischer titrator, pycnometer, or distillation. Even if you don't know what is true density, what is granular density, how we measure these density, but you have a small knowledge for distillation, you know this is a technique of separation. Then you have Karl-Fischer titration, you studied analysis. You have oxalate extraction from the cognoscine. So the density is generally measured using the pycnometer. Okay, I hope the question is not that confusing for you all because of the options we have. The correct answer is option number C. Okay. If the car's index value is between 26 to 31, I little bit zoom it out so that you all can see the values. Yes. So if the car's index is between 26 to 31, then what will be the type of flow? If you have seen my micromeritics video, the car's index is tap density minus bulk density upon tap density into 100. Okay, so here we have been given a range 26 to 31. So you all must remember it is less than 10 or equal to 10 when we say the flow is excellent. Then we have 11 to 14. Then we have 16 to 20 or 15 to 19. Okay. Then we have 20 to 25. Then we have 26 to 31. So as you can see, the flow behavior is getting poor as the car's index value is increasing. So here we have the correct answer. I hope you all were able to get it, that with less than 10 it was excellent, then obviously it was good, then passable, then poor, and above that will be very poor. So we have our correct answer as option number A. Next question is based out of the angle of repose. Now you must remember these are the properties which we actually find out so that we know the flow characteristics. So for determining the flow characteristics, we have number 1 Hausner ratio, number 2 Carr's index, and then we have angle of repose, which states tan theta is equals to h by r. That means height of the pile of the powder and the radius of pile of the powder. Just the same as of Carr's index, if the value keeps on increasing, then the flow becomes poor, right? So the starting values in most of the books is around 20. So that is the excellent flow. So now you can very much see that it will be passable, then it will be poor, right? So good and excellent are not in option. We have 41 to 45, which is a range of passable, and above that it will be very poor flow. Okay, right. Next question. One of the powders is not related to, one of the following is not related to the powder flow property. As I've just told you that we evaluate the powder flow property by 3 measures. Number 1 is the Hausner ratio, second is the Carr's index, third we have is the angle of repose. So we have a right answer as bulk density. Although this parameter is used to calculate the Carr's index as Hausner ratio, so you might get confused. But note down, Hausner ratio is the ratio of tap density upon bulk density. Carr's index is the tap density minus bulk density upon tap density into 100. Then we have angle of repose, which is tan theta is equals to h upon r. So we have our right answer as bulk density, which is not identified as the property, right? Next. If the powder is having free flow characteristics, the angle of repose will be just as if I told you, as the value of angle of repose or Carr's index or Hausner ratio will keep on increasing, the flow will become even poorer, right? So we can freely say that if the free flowing powder we can see, it will have a very low angle of repose. Okay, that's how. Next question. The particle size used in sedimentation method is that symbol which is not, I think, clearly visible, that is micron, right? We have micrometer, mu, the symbol is mu. So we have 1 to 200 micrometer, then we have 1 to 1200 micrometer, then we have 1 to 800 micrometer or 1 to 1000 micrometer. So in this case, they have asked about the particle size in the sedimentation. For the particle size, we have seen optical microscopy method, sedimentation method, we have seen sieving method and Coulter counter method. So for this, we have for the particle size sedimentation, which will be 1 to 200 micrometers, right? So correct answer will be option number A. Next, particle size determination by sedimentation method is done by. So in the sedimentation method, we basically involve three apparatus. Number one is the balance method, second is the pipette method, and third is the Anderson pipette method, right? Hydrometer, balance and Anderson pipette method. So this is the most important question or topic from the micromeritics on which repeatedly we get the questions asked. Okay, so please note down, we have three methods: balance method, Anderson pipette method, and we have hydrometer method. So I think by now it is much easier to catch what will be the sedimentation method based on. It will be the Anderson pipette method. Option B is our correct answer. Next, angle of repose is used to study friction of powder, compressibility, flowability, viscosity. This you should answer. I have just told you that the flow characteristics can be like determined by the Carr's index, the Hausner ratio, or the your angle of repose. So we are talking about the flowability of the powder. As the value increases, the flow becomes poor. So now I think you have the correct answer as option number C. Okay. Next, flowability of a powder can be measured by, again the question, you see how they are asking again and again based on this important topic. So Carr's index, definitely. Angle of repose, definitely. Sedimentation method, this is a method for particle size measurement. Just I have told you, optical microscopy, sieving, sedimentation and Coulter counter. So we have our correct answer as option number C. Both of these are able to characterize the flowability of the powder. Okay. Next, for the good flow of powders, the value of Hausner ratio. So just keep one thing in mind, as the value will increase, the flow will become poor. As the value is lesser, then we have excellent or free flow. Okay. So here the good flow will be around, we have 1 to 1.11. This will offer excellent flow, then good, then passable, and then poor, and then extremely poor. Okay. So we have our correct answer as 1.12 to 1.18. Excellent, good, passable and poor. Okay. Clear? Right. Next, true density can be measured, right? Just before this we have seen the picnometer question. So true density can be measured by liquid displacement method, gas displacement method, by floating in liquid, or all of the above. So in the density determination, we have seen about true density, granular density, right? And bulk density one we have studied, tap density we have seen. So for the true density, it can be determined by all of these methods. Okay, this question is majorly asked, so remember the names. True density is determined by the liquid and gas displacement method. Third, by floating in liquid. Okay, right. Next, formula for Carr's index. Carr's index is what? Carr's consolidation index or Carr's compressibility index, which basically characterizes the flow properties. So I have already told you the formula for it, right? I'll just write all the three formulas so that if you don't know, you will note it down. So for Carr's index, it is tap density minus bulk density upon tap density into 100. For Hausner ratio, we have tap density upon bulk density. For angle of repose, we have theta is equals to tan inverse H upon R. So all these three methods are for particle size, your particle flowability of the powder, right? So now I think you all are able to answer it very correctly. We have our tap density minus bulk density upon tap density into 100. So we have correct answer as option number B, right? Simple. Note down these formulas. These are very important for the characterizing the flow properties of the powder. So many questions we have seen today. Okay, so it gives us a clear indication how important this topic is going to be. Okay, tap density minus bulk density upon tap density 200. Now you may get confused because here I think the answer is incorrect, right? Here it should have been 100, not 500. It should have been 100. So we are sticking to our correct answer, tap minus bulk upon tap into 100. This is the wrong. Okay, right. Next question. The flow properties are affected by all except frictional forces, amount and type of glidant, shape and size of the powder and color. See, flow properties, if you imagine flow properties, you can imagine a powder which is flowing. Now the powder which is flowing, the glidants are added to improve the flow of the powder. Remember, glidants are added to improve the flow of the powder. So this makes us this question invalid, option B. Then the flow property, definitely, because the powder will be flowing, it will depend upon the particle shape and size because it will affect the final packing geometry of the powder, which eliminates our option C. Then frictional forces, you all know the frictions actually stop the powder, any particle from moving. So definitely it will be affected. So we have color as the right choice, which is not going to anyway impact the flow properties of the powder. Next question. Which diameter is defined as the length of the line that bisects the particle image? So for that matter, you need to understand, suppose you have this type of asymmetric particle. Suppose you have this type of asymmetric particle, right? So we generally, to characterize it, we consider it in the approximate shape of sphere. Okay. Now, when viewed from the most stable plane, we say this is the projected diameter. We say this is the projected diameter. Now, next we have the distance between the two tangents. Suppose these are the two tangents, right? So, the distance between these two tangents, this is referred to as Faraday's diameter. A simple way to remember is FT MB, right? MB, GB, TB, you all know. So FT MB, FT MB, Farad tangent Martin bisect, Farad tangent Martin bisect. So this is distance between two tangents, which will be Farad diameter FT, and the line which is bisecting the particle, this is known as the Martin's diameter. The lines which is bisecting the particle, this is known as the Martin's diameter. So coming back to the question, they are asking which diameter is the length of the line which bisect the particle. So MB, we have the Martin's diameter as our correct answer. Faraday's distance between two tangents, this is nothing, and we have projected it a diameter when viewed from the most stable plane. Okay, option D here is correct. Next, in which packing arrangement is the porosity around 26%? See, porosity exactly refers to the void volume, refers to the voids, the gaps. So, more the gaps you have, more the porosity you have, lesser will be the particle geometry. So, when you have a particle which are very much close to each other, that means spaces are less, that means porosity will be lesser. Okay. So, the closer the packing, lesser will be the porosity. Looser the packing, more will be the porosity. Okay. So, we have closed packing. Next, BET equation is used to measure the surface area for what? Adsorption, air permeability method, titration method, or volumetric method. See, for surface area determination, I am writing here, for surface area determination, we use two methods. Number one is the adsorption method. Second is the air permeability method. Okay, so for the adsorption method, we have suppose a powder, right, on which the solute or gas is adsorbed, and we can determine it, right. So in the adsorption, we use instrument which is known as quantasor. Please note down, this is all the important details, all the selected important pinpointed details I am telling you all. In the air permeability method, we have Fisher, subsieve, sizer. So these are the names of the instrument. Now in the adsorption method, we use the BET equation. We use the BET equation. For the air permeability method, we use the 𝘂𝙎𝑖𝑚S equation. We use 𝘂𝙎𝑖𝑚S equation. Note down, this is the confusing part. Students do get confused. So in the BET equation, we have none other than our adsorption method. Okay. So the correct answer will be option number A. Clear now? Fine. Next, granular density is measured by. Just before this, we have studied about the true density, right, which can be determined by what methods. Now we have the granular density, which is determined by nothing but the mercury displacement method, right? Previously, we have seen the gas displacement method or the liquid displacement method. That gas is none other than our helium. So in this case of the granular density, we have mercury displacement method. Option C is our correct answer. Next, which is the size which is typically measured for the optical microscope? I always recommend going through that one table I've shown you in the micromeritics, where the size range of the for the optical microscopy, size range for the your sedimentation, sieving and Coulter counter, everything is mentioned. So in the optical microscopy, generally particles which are large in size, that are clearly visible, otherwise they get very difficult to get a better resolution. So we have our 0.2 to 100 micrometer, option A as our right answer. This one is for the sedimentation sieving method, right? For sedimentation method we have already seen. Okay, so we have 0.2 to 100 micrometer. Next, porosity of the powder is defined as the ratio of, just as I've told you, porosity actually includes nothing but the voids, right? So definitely we will be including the true volume of the powder, which is with the voids, and tapped volume, or the volume which in which the voids are not included, right? So porosity is the measurement of void volume to the bulk volume. Void volume you all know, which is just the spaces. Bulk volume, which includes everything, the interparticular, intraparticular, the true volume of the powder, everything. Okay, so we have void volume to the bulk volume of the powder. Next, projected diameter is based on, I have told you three diameters: projected, ferrite, Martin. So projected diameter is based on particle true volume, area observed under a microscope, surface to volume ratio, or sieve size. I hope I don't have to even tell you what it is, right? It is that clearly visible that when I told you under the microscope, we get three diameters: projected, ferrite, and Martin. When viewed from your most stable plane, we say it is the projected area diameter. So we have area observed under a microscope as the correct answer. So this is all about the micromeritics section video. I hope you all had a great time answering the questions, understanding the concepts. For more details, you can please let me comment down in the comment section. You can just literally tell me what exactly you want to study, what chapter is actually a problem to you, right? So we can discuss it even more. Okay, thank you so much for today. We'll meet in the next video.